Good morning. Welcome to the Walford Campus Virtual Open event. In this session, we're going to be looking at the courses available in the equine department. We've got the tutors on hand to answer any questions you may have afterwards. But in the meantime, we've got a little video just to show you just a bit of a flavour for what happens on site and what the courses involve. So if you'd like to sit back and enjoy the video and just think of any questions you may have and enjoy.
Hello, my name is Carl Morris and I'm Head of North Shropshire College. I would like to welcome you to our Walford Campus Virtual Open event. I thought I would start by explaining why you should consider Walford for your post-16 education. We offer a wide range of general and career-specific courses ranging from animal management, agriculture, equine, motor vehicle and foundation studies. Our teachers are available throughout the Virtual Open event to explain the details of each course. In most cases, we offer different levels of courses ranging from entry level to level 1, to level 2, level 3, and even higher nationals in animal management. Virtually all of our students progress onto a positive career path, whether that is university, a job, or an apprenticeship. Our timetable is very different to other colleges. The vast majority of students come into college for 3 days per week. During this time, they do work very hard, but they are given the freedom for part-time jobs and work experience on the other 2 days. This also reduces their travel time into college. We have excellent facilities for all of our courses, with specialist workshops and practical areas where needed. Just as a reminder, we do have student accommodation available. If you have any questions, please take the opportunity to speak to teachers during the event. Staff will be available to discuss transport and finance queries as well. If you have not done so already, it is not too late to apply for next year. This can be done by filling in an application form found on our website. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the event.
I'm one of the equine lecturers here at the Walford campus of North Shropshire College. Welcome to our equine centre. This is obviously a strange thing to be doing, our virtual open day, so welcome to everybody. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the courses that we do here. So we run level 2 and level 3 equine specific courses. The level 2 course is equivalent to GCSEs, so that's for students who have either come with a level 1 qualification, or if you've not done quite so well in your GCSEs and got either not got your 5 grades of 4 to 9 in your GCSEs or lower than that. So you might have 3s, 1s, 2s and 3s. The level 2 course can also be quite useful if somebody comes in with a little bit less equine experience maybe, and you need a year to just get your skills up really before you move on to the level 3. Types of jobs that you might do after a level 2. Lots of our students do progress on to level 3 and continue with their education. But if you choose to go out into work, you could potentially go off and do an apprenticeship, working in riding schools, grooming, competition yards, lots of options really, but also things like working in tack shops, because it gives you kind of your base knowledge to be able to talk about those sorts of things. So run level 3 courses, and the level 3 courses are either 1 or 2 years. They're equivalent to an A level or AS level. So if you just do the single year, then that's like doing AS levels. If you do the 2 years, it's like A levels. That allows students to go on to university if they want to continue their studies, but also lots of students will go off into the world of work and get jobs in various places. It's a really good way of kind of getting into the industry. They're industry recognised qualifications. All of our courses are, they're obviously vocational courses, so they tend to be about 50-50 for theory and practical elements, whether they're level 2 or level 3. We cover all sorts of topics, so basic care of the horse, tack and equipment, fitness. For level 3 we do coaching, competition grooming, some of the more intricate subjects, and all students will ride. Not all students will necessarily be assessed in their riding if that is not something that they particularly want to do. but there's also the opportunity to go up through the higher levels up to the level 3 second year, where you learn to school and work horses and learn a little bit more about the in-depth nature of it.
Hi, my name's Jo Castry. I'm the yard manager here at North Shropshire College at the Walford campus Equine Yard. I've worked here for quite a long time. Obviously, part of your course involves what we call early morning duties and after college duties. These run out through the duration of your course. You will be expected to muck out, groom, help us catch in and turn out, and everything that needs doing on the yard, including sweeping, doing the mucking. They are a big part of your course. Everything you do on those will be included in your final grades and assessments and will go through your final marks. These duties are on a rota basis, so generally you do about 4 duty weeks throughout the year of your course. Whilst you're on these, you can book a duty room across the road in our residential blocks. Presently there's no charge for these.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm Assistant Yard Manager on the yard at Walford. You will see me around the yard looking after horses, keeping the yard nice and tidy, and you will also be with me when you're on yard duties. You'll often see me schooling horses and hacking them out.
So another obviously big part of my job is the day-to-day running of the yard, care and welfare of the horses, making sure they're all on the correct feeding programmes. As part of your course you'll get involved in making up the feeds of the horses and allocating their rations. The range of horses we have is good for all sorts of different types of riders. We have varying breeds, ages, size, colours, you name it. Another big part obviously is your safety. We're very keen here to make sure that the entire time that you're here you stay safe and well and follow procedures put in place.
So in addition to all of the normal teaching that we do, we have really good links with employers and other industry professionals, and so there's lots of masterclasses, lots of visiting lecturers, and we like to take students out on trips and visits. We tend to go to the Horse of the Year show, we go to national championships, we went to Your Horse Live, and second years go to badminton for a study tour as well as any other things that we think potentially might be relevant. So basic visits out to the vets, the local vets, to see the facilities and tack shops.
Okay, so hopefully that's given a good insight into what's involved in the different courses within the equine department. As I say, we have the tutors on site now who are able to answer any questions that you may have. And we've got a few different questions coming through. If we start with yourself, Jo, to begin with, if that's okay. Okay, so one of the first questions come through, will students ride all the horses or do they just have one that they are allocated?
No, we have a variety of horses suitable for different levels of riders. When you come in September and when you come for interview, we will assess your ability and level of riding, and then we were very careful to match riders to horses, obviously primarily for safety and also that you get the most out of your learning experience. So you all get to ride a variety of horses, but potentially not all the horses on the yard. But hopefully while you're with us, we can improve your riding and you can aspire to ride different horses as your course continues.
Okay, brilliant. Someone's asked, is there livery available for students' own horses during duty weeks?
Yes, we do keep a couple of stables available. There obviously is a small charge for this, as there would be on any livery yard. It's just a case of booking in, filling in the paperwork, and then arranging it with himself. You do have to do your horse in your own time, not in your duty time, but we can make allowances for this. And sometimes, as long as your horse is behaving, we will allow you to join in one of your lessons and groups as well, so you can have a lesson on your horse whilst they're here.
Okay, brilliant. I think a follow-up question to that. Someone said, can they live on site during duty weeks? I'm presuming that's the student, not the horse.
Yes, normally we do have duty rooms available across the road in the residential area, and these are available for use while you're on your duty week. You liaise with the senior warden, Mel, who again, there's always some paperwork to fill in, bits and pieces, and there are rules and regulations as all the residents have to follow. And currently you don't have to pay for this, but I think they do have to pay a little key deposit whilst they're here.
Okay, brilliant. Krista, if I can bring in yourself for the next few questions, if that's okay. So someone's asked, do we get to jump?
Yes, you do get to jump. So we it's not an assessed part of either the level 2 or the first year level 3 riding, but providing students are able, and when they get to that point, we do try and jump with all our students. Definitely first year level 3s. If they're wanting to go on to the second year, there's a jump option, so we do a fair amount of jumping in the first year in preparation for that, so making sure that all the basics are in place. Level 2s, it entirely depends on people's ability, whether they want to or not, so some people like jumping, some people don't. So you don't have to jump if you don't want to, but if you do want to, then yeah, definitely there is definitely jumping, and we do have a small cross-country course across the road that we sort of use some movable fences that we take students over to as well when the weather's a bit better and the ground's good.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. Someone's asked what trips are involved in the course, if any.
Yeah, so we go to we have been in the past been to National Dressage Championships. Whether or not that goes on this year, I'm not sure, but usually it's quite early on in the season. It's sort of September, October time, so we do that. We've been to Horse of the Year show, Your Horse Live. We go to badminton. Second years go on a study tour to badminton, so we go and camp, take them for the full 4 days through the weekend as well. Which is good, and then we do lots of kind of smaller local trips. So we'll go to, we've got a vets that's in Baschurch just up the road, so we go there and they have a look at the facilities there. We'll go to rehab centres. Second years do a rehab unit, so we'll go and have a look around some rehab centres and see what the facilities are like there. And then for level 2s and first years, just going to visit places like tack shops and feed merchants is really useful to see the different range of things that are available that we can't necessarily have everything at college, but places like that will have lots of things for them to look at, students to look at and see and get to grips with. So yeah, lots of trips.
Okay, brilliant. And what sort of jobs do students go on to do after the courses?
Big variety, really. Some students will sort of go straight out into work and go into yards of, there's lots of different types of yards. So there's not just riding schools, livery yards, competition yards, but there's also lots of other areas. And there's things like working in feed merchants or working, as you could go on and do a degree, potentially. Lots of students now are sort of interested in the rehab and the physio side of things. So you could go on and again do further education, higher education, and become physios, instructors. We've got ex-students who do freelance grooming and freelance work, working on hunting yards. There's lots of options. There's also the retail option. So if you don't necessarily want to work sort of hands-on with the horses, but still want to be involved, then working in tack shops, feed merchants, places like Countrywide and that sort of thing as an equine representative. They like you to have a bit of equine knowledge, which is really helpful for advising people. So there's a huge variety of jobs available.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. Joe, if you're free, if I can bring you back in for the next few questions. Someone's asked, can I still do the course if I don't get my English GCSE?
If you don't get your English GCSE, then you can redo it here at college. In fact, we make you redo it here at college as part of your course. And the same goes with your maths GCSE as well. So you can do that alongside the course here at college, either on level 2 or level 3. Yeah, so that is something that you can do here.
Okay,
we make you do it.
Yeah. Someone's asked, do I need to have already learned to ride a horse before starting?
We do ask that you've had some previous experience. For level 2, if you have got the very basics of walking and trotting, that's okay, in reasonable balance. As I said, when you come for an interview, we will sit you on a nice quiet horse and give you an assessment. For level 3, we do ask that you're a little bit perhaps more ahead of that in sort of this case of sort of walk trot and perhaps had a basic canter. But again, we can assess you and obviously we can match you to horses that you can progress onto. It just means that potentially, as Chris has said before, in the second year, if you did the level 3, you may not do the jump unit if you're not at that stage in your riding. So we can sort of work it out as we go along. But if you've never sat on a horse, it is advisable to perhaps go and get some lessons. And very often we do advise people to come and get some more lessons before they come to us in September. So they've got a bit of a head start, should we say.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Someone's asked, is there any equipment I will need to buy?
Equipment, we do ask students to provide their own riding equipment. So they will need a hat up to standard. You can look on government guidelines to what the current standard is. PS 015 is the one that we sort of stick to, but there are equivalents. You will need riding boots, jodhpurs, and then there is college clothing that you can buy from us for your top half, so coats, waistcoats, jumpers and t-shirts. But jodhpurs, boots and hats and gloves you need to provide yourself.
Okay, thank you. Someone's asked, how much time do you spend with the horses?
We always get asked this question quite a lot. The timetables are generally probably 60% practical and 40% classroom, but that probably does depend a little bit. Again, we're back to the maths and English if you need to do those as well. So if you need to redo your maths and English, there will be a bit more in the classroom, but that doesn't impact on your practical. You'll still do the same sort of practical lessons as everybody else. So we do try and get up on the yard and outside doing things as much as we can. And it might even be that one of your theory lessons starts in the classroom, but then you come up to the yard to sort of do points of the horse or some anatomy and then go back to the classroom. So we try and keep it as much as possible as people want to come and spend time with the horses, as much as possible with them.
Okay, brilliant. Kind of a follow-up to that, I suppose, really, is someone said, what days are you on the course?
It depends on which course you're on, whether level 2 or level 3. And I don't think we've completely decided those definitely yet this year, but you would get told over the summer which days you'd be expected to in. So it might be that you're in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or maybe it's Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, depending on timetabling.
Okay, brilliant. Someone's asked, other than riding, what things would I learn on this course?
We do all aspects of stable management, so the actual care and welfare and health of the horses. So you would learn to muck out properly, all about all different types of bedding, all stable management, so the correct tacking up procedure, all about different types of tack, bandages, so back to health, so doing TPR, health checks, worming, can't think of loads of stuff, lunging. We also hack out, so not just riding in the arenas, we also take them out hacking around the roads, and everything really, all the equipment and resources that go with horses and everything you need to do, from looking after them at a show to caring for them while they're sick. And again, linked in what I said before about anatomy and physiology, so also learning about how the horse is made up and how they work inside, so things like the digestion process and feeding and all those sorts of things.
Okay, brilliant. Quite comprehensive then. Someone's asked, do we go to Olympia by any chance?
We have been to Olympia in the past, and it is potentially something we could look at doing again, depending if there was enough people interested in going. It's always a really good event. But yeah, if there's things like that students really want to go to, we can always look at taking trips and look at, obviously costs that are involved, etc., and logistics of going.
Okay, brilliant. Krista, if I bring you back for a few more.
Yep.
So I've got a good question here from Eloise. So is it possible to do an A-level alongside this course, such as biology, to maximise options for uni?
Possibly. You're only in college 3 days a week, so it is a possibility. I believe we do A-levels. Not sure whether we do any actually at the Walford site. That would be a question that I would need to get back to you on. But you can get to uni with a level 3 qualification. So if you did the 2 years, it is the equivalent of 3 A-levels. But there isn't any reason why, as long as you're working hard and putting the effort in, there isn't any reason why you couldn't do an A-level alongside. You just have to consider, obviously, how you manage your time and that sort of thing. But it would definitely be something that we could look at.
Absolutely. Just to add on to that, actually, from the session we had for our Oswestry campus back on Wednesday, there are A-levels on site at Oswestry, which you can study alongside some courses, and biology is one of those. So it is definitely a possibility to do, and transport can be provided between the Walford campus and the Oswestry campus for those. So it can be a possibility to do.
I believe some of the animal care courses do actually do that for similar reasons. But I'm not sure whether they do that based at Walford or whether they do that based at Oswestry. So yeah, I think it's definitely something that we could look at.
Yeah. Someone's asked, what are the subjects you learned during level 2?
So level 2 is kind of based around the BHS stage 1 and 2, really. So it's how to care for horses. It's aiming people at yard work, essentially. So health, we do a bit of behaviour, we do handling, we obviously do riding, we do lunging, a unit called stable operations, which is yard work essentially, but it covers a bit more than just kind of how to work. We also teach things not necessarily in the curriculum, so you learn about how to conduct yourself properly, as a person who's going out to work. So it's employability skills and those sorts of things that we improve as well through work experience, through duties, time management, and all the kind of pastoral type things you'll learn as well. So, you might come in as having just left school and not really knowing what you want to do. But, the idea is that you leave as a ready for work adult.
Brilliant. Someone's asked, when do we start? What date? So I presume they mean for the next academic year.
Yeah, so the plan is that we start second week in September. However, what normally happens is we come in and do enrolment the week before that. Obviously, with things as they are, with social distancing in place, the way that our enrolment usually works wouldn't be possible. So at the moment, management are just kind of looking at what the options are in terms of getting, hundreds and hundreds of students enrolled, which potentially might be logistically quite tricky. So, yeah, the plan is that it'll be early September. But more details will be sent out in August once grades come in and official acceptances and letters go out from student services. Yeah,
so it's very much a work in progress at the moment, but
it is, yeah.
We're ironing out the details.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a couple of questions have come in, which may be more suited to the last session of the day, which is sort of general queries about the college. People are asking about what transport's available from Oswestry. Is there support for students with mental health problems? And do we get an email about accommodation? I mean, they'll probably be best covered in those sessions. I mean, in terms of support for students with mental health problems, I mean, there's a student services team that can help out with these sorts of things. They're available on campus to help. In terms of transport available from Oswestry, I'm not 100% sure what there is or isn't. I'm fairly certain there's a bus, isn't there?
Yeah, so there's bus routes from Oswestry. There's bus routes that can get you to the Oswestry campus, and then from the Oswestry campus to us. Getting from Oswestry is not a problem. In terms of the mental health services, we've got an excellent student services and student welfare department at Walford, and they really support the students extremely well. We have counsellors on site, and appointments can be booked with counsellors, and we've got lots of students who say how good they are, so that would definitely be something that can be accessed.
Okay, brilliant. And in terms of accommodation, there's information about the accommodation on our website, and then there'll also be more information available about accommodation in the last session of the day. That's at 3 o'clock for anyone that's interested in a bit more information about that. I think that's all of the questions we've had come through now. Just checking through, make sure we haven't missed any or skipped over them. That looks all covered there. So, just had one last one come in actually. How many hours work experience would we do for level 3?
So on level 3, you'll do 1 day a week at a placement that you find sort of locally to you, and then you do a 2-week block later on in the year, which is and it's 5 days a week, and you work the days that they work. So if you go and work in a riding school, it might be that it's 8 till 4, or some places might be earlier till later, but you negotiate the hours, the specific hours with the work placement. But it's a 2-week block and then a 1 day a week, but the 1 day a week you can be paid for. So if you already work in a yard that you get paid on, then that would be perfectly acceptable to do that.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. So I think that's all the questions we've had come through now. So I think that'd be a good spot to wrap things up. As I say, this session has been recorded, so if you want to view it back at a later date, it'll be going up on our YouTube channel shortly. If you're watching that recording now and thinking, oh, they haven't answered the question that I had in mind, by all means, contact us through the website, through social media channels. We can direct your queries to Joe and Krista, and they can answer those to you. I think we possibly just had a question come through. Someone just asked, what colour do we have to wear?
Navy.
Navy.
Yeah.
There we are. Okay. So if there's any further questions that you have, feel free to get in touch. And likewise, if you want to see some of the other courses that we offer, there's further sessions throughout the day. And as I say, at 3 o'clock, there is a session all about the general queries you may have about admissions, transport, and also accommodation as well. For now, thank you very much.
Thank you.